This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, May 19th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Stephanie and Brandon. I always love a good Wednesday. Halfway through the week, the Hills have started up again. I'm going to watch that.
And
I like that.
I always
I
love it when you know
pleasure.
your transitions, because you say, I'm here with my friends, the first story is about.
You know what, Brandon London? I got to tell you something. You have been like nailing your transitions lately. The last couple of weeks, you've been driving me right into the first story.
You know what? And I thank you for saying that, because our boss is right there, and you know.
Brandon London has been getting great. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that right now. All right, we're getting a first look at next week's Big Friends reunion. James Corden will host the special on HBO Max on May 27th. Let's have a look.
Wow. Does Courtney still have her lines written on the table?
We've literally just slipped right back.
We regret.
We have such a bond from this show.
Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Yes.
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 The nostalgia. The cast is also on the cover of People magazine. David Schwimmer revealed since the show ended 17 years ago, which is crazy in itself, all 6 of them had only met up once, but the cast says their bond has always remained strong. Let's watch.
When we do get together, it's like no time has passed. I mean, I think everybody sort of has a relationship like that in their life. We get together and it's like you pick up right where we left off.
We're connected no matter what.
No matter what, till death do us part.
That's true.
Very true.
Really,
siblings.
very supportive. There's
Very sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like y'all and everything, but it ain't death till death do us part, you know.
You never know.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I like y'all and
said that
everything.
like bad.
Go ahead.
I got to tell you, it's much anticipated. I wanted to talk about it right away. I wanted to get your guys' opinions. But after seeing this trailer, I'm on board. I'm all in. The nostalgia that it brought back up, I didn't realize how much I've actually watched that show. And every clip they show, they don't even have to talk. That giant armadillo came out, and I was like, the holiday armadillo. It brought back so many memories for me. And I love when people show behind the scenes things, how they got their job, what they felt like their first day at work, what it was like reading that script. People don't know in that world on the outside, but we do. We're lucky enough to do that, and I love that part of the business.
I said, this was about a week ago, I said that Ben Winston, the producer with James Corden that owns Full 73 Productions, was going to step it up. I don't like Friends. We all know it. I'm waiting for the DMs to come in and death threats because I don't like Friends. I don't care. But he changed the Grammys this year. He elevated the Grammys. He's done it with so many other shows. We've seen it with James Corden, Carpool Karaoke. This man is a genius. And I said he's going to bring a bit of British flair, and he did.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
You're not letting the British take control of Friends, okay?
Have you seen how good it looks in comparison to how boring Friends was originally? It looks amazing. And like you said, what I'm interested in is behind the scenes, how they've aged, how they've hung out, how they felt.
You don't think an American could have did that story?
Was any of that in the Friends? No, it was a snooze fest, which is why half of America tuned out and fell asleep.
All right,
He's
Brendan.
brought it back to life. He's brought it back to life.
I'm sorry.
America.
All hail Queen Steph.
What?
All hail the Queen. She was right. I gave her a little flag for it the other day, but after, just like you said, after watching that trailer, I'm not gonna watch the show, but it made me look at it.
Are you not gonna watch that?
No, I just gave you a compliment, Stephanie. Just one at a time, one at a time.
Okay.
It made me look at it, and I can understand. The people who really was die hard into this show, they're gonna absolutely love that reunion, because like you said, it's giving them a look into behind the scenes and all that. So when you think of that, and you think of that nostalgia, because Friends is on TV every day, I kind of had a little reverse nostalgia there, because you're looking at them in their 20s and their 30s every single day. And then I just saw Matthew Perry, the guy from Raya, with the 19-year-old. He looked a little creepy there. So I'm like,
creepy?
Listen, I don't know. Let's not go creepy, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Raya ad. Let's not conflate
You
the two.
think they're going to talk about that, though? You think they'll talk about that?
No, absolutely not. I think this was shot before that came out.
That's good TV.
But listen, you make a good point there, because we watch them on our screens. It's on reruns. It's syndicated. We see them in their 20s, right?
Yes.
And then we see this reunion, and we're like, wow. They've aged. It's kind of like going to a high school reunion.
Yeah.
You remember your friends at 16, 17 years old. You see them 20 years later, like, Bob, what happened, buddy?
I think Ross and Phoebe look fantastic, though. Ross and Phoebe, I don't know Phoebe's real name. Phoebe.
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow, yeah.
There you go. She looks fantastic.
All right.
I knew that.
All right. Well, we got another British story for you. So get ready over there. Have some tea. They're one of the most polarizing couples on the planet. Today is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 3rd anniversary. Stephanie's going out to dinner. They have had a rough 3 years, to say the least, and it all started with this huge wedding costing a reported $45 million. But Steph, nearly 30 million Americans tuned in to watch. They also did this bombshell interview with Oprah. Of course, everyone remembers, making a number of serious allegations against the royal family, which has divided the public. Now, some Americans, like Sean Hannity, are upset with the couple, specifically Prince Harry, for what he said recently about the First Amendment being, quote, bonkers. Did I say that right?
Bonkers.
Really don't need you coming from England to give us lectures on the First Amendment. And if you can't understand the importance of free expression and the importance of constitutional principles that allow for a free exchange of ideas and ideals and opinions that have made America the greatest country on earth, then maybe it's time for you to move to a place more compatible with your restrictive ideas.
All right, Seth, so serious. We had fun with the Friends thing.
Yeah.
This is a serious question. Why are they so polarizing? Why is that?
I think literally in England and in America, well, it's the same. I feel Americans have one perspective on them, British people have another. And in England as well, it's so incredibly divided from the people that are diehard royal fans that hate Meghan because they see that she's taken Harry and led him astray. And then we have people that see the royal family as being so antiquated and desperate for change, and you know, they don't want them to go anywhere, but they saw this as a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, like things are going to be shaken up. And I think it's the same as with politics, with everything that we saw last year as well. I think like the world is so divided right now, and I think, you know, they represent a lot of what's happening in the world. They're a biracial couple. He's left a very controlling, what's the word, you know, keeping up appearances family, so to speak, and she's like this incredible actress who's like stepped into a whole different role and had her life turned upside down. I think people don't relate, understandably, but also they'll relate on more basic levels in the fact that maybe your families aren't getting on. Maybe, you know, there's underlying issues and some family members have fallen out and whatever else. But I think they're so polarizing as well because Americans don't like hearing when Brits say anything about their politics or amendments, or they don't like it. We've seen it with Piers Morgan. We've seen it now with Harry.
Brendan, you got a quick button?
She better get him a good gift. I left my family for you. So I want our 3rd anniversary. I want a good gift.
She better get him one?
Yes.
Oh, because he left his family.
Yes.
It's not about that.
All right.
Dude, they got a $100 million deal with Netflix. That's pretty good gift.
I think their gift came from Beatrice saying that she's pregnant.
I think you gave,
on their 3rd year anniversary, which
I
is
think
a
you
bit
gave
of a
her
slap
a
in
good
the
gift.
face.
You called her an amazing actress. That was a nice gift.
Oh.
She is
I
an
didn't say.
amazing
I'm not
actress.
saying. Oh, I'm saying amazing. That's like we're just throwing that around now.
She is.
Oh, all right. Coming up on
Just
DBL, a week of 90s sitcom stars continues with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Melissa Joan Hart. She's weighing in on Britney Spears, who guest starred on her show back in the day. And did Seth Rogen make a fool of himself when he tried to meet Beyonce? Steph tells us what up in What Up Wednesday.
Closed captioning provided by
For a lot of us, we rarely think about where our fuel comes from. But after the Colonial Pipeline hack, a lot of people are looking for answers. On social media, you'll see people blaming President Biden. When you can't find gas, this post reads, remember who executively ordered the Keystone Pipeline to close? So let's verify. Did the Biden decision on the Keystone XL Pipeline contribute to this gas crisis? Our sources are Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy and Ken Medlock from the Baker Institute at Rice University. Here's the executive order, signed on January 20th, Biden's first day in office. It revoked the permit for a plan to expand the XL Pipeline, shown as a dotted line on this map.
They have nothing to do with each other and there's no effect.
It has no bearing on gasoline supplies to the East Coast at all.
Our two experts agree. They explain that whereas the Colonial Pipeline carries gasoline across 5,500 miles in the southeast, the Keystone XL Pipeline would have carried crude oil, something which needs to be refined before used as gasoline from Canada to Oklahoma.
Keystone XL was a pipeline built for the future to carry future oil should the demand be there. It's a piece of infrastructure that was never open, it was never brought to the market, and had no effect.
Our experts say that the main point here is that there's plenty of gasoline. It's just not making it to the pumps on the East Coast.
When the Colonial Pipeline went down, you severed a system that moves 1/6 of all interstate petroleum product trade in the U.S. And so that created local shortages.
So we can verify that social posts like these are false. The decision on the Keystone XL Pipeline has nothing to do with the current gas crisis. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
DBL, I'm Stephanie Jones, here to dish the week's best celebrity gossip. Like, what movie star was humiliated by Beyonce? And was Joan Rivers' duplex haunted by ghosts? It's What Up Wednesday. But first, we're heading to Los Angeles, where actress Olivia Munn is apparently obsessed with her new man, that is. There's been lots of talk about Olivia Munn and comedian John Mulaney amidst his recent split from wife Anna Marie. Well, it turns out that back in 2015, Olivia spoke candidly in an interview about meeting he and his wife at a wedding, revealing that she was just another fan and, quote, just so obsessed with hanging out and talking with him. Here's what's up. Now that the cat's officially out of the bag and the pair are confirmed to be dating, let's hope for Olivia's sake that she was the only obsessed fan waiting for him to be single. Next, we're heading to Vancouver to check on poor Seth Rogen, who has been left in Beyonce's dust. The pair voice acted together in The Lion King, but had actually never met until the movie's premiere. But Seth recently revealed that at a previous Grammy Awards, when he saw an opportunity to introduce himself to Queen Bey, he literally charged over to her, only to get hit so hard by one of her security guards that he spilled his drink all over his suit. It was so bad that he had to strategically place his hands to hide the stain whilst he was presenting. But always a man of good humour, he says that although he was humiliated, he deserved it. And the next time he saw her, he smartly waited until she approached him. Here's what's up. Who could fault Seth Rogen for his blunder? And what a good save for hiding that stain. But let's be honest, I'd have been blinded by Beyonce and barreled over to her all the same. And finally, we're heading to New York City, where the late comedian Joan Rivers' apartment is for sale, but might come with a few extra guests. For a cool $38 million, you can snag her Upper East Side duplex that's now on the market, and you could be living in 2 floors right above Joan's daughter Melissa. But what's not included in the price is the ghost that Joan claimed to have. The 11-bedroom apartment used to belong to a niece of the late financier JP Morgan, and Joan, who was a big believer in spirits, even had the place cleared by a psychic when she couldn't get any of her electrical things to work correctly. Here's what's up. Aside from the fact that New York City is filled with old historical buildings that might have faulty electrical, if there's any one ghost I literally would wish to haunt me, it's Joan Rivers. That's it for this week's What Up Wednesday. We'll be right back.
We all know that movement
Vehicle escape tools, sometimes called window punchers, are designed to quickly break glass so you can escape your car, whether it's underwater or on fire. They are especially popular in areas prone to flooding because water can make it difficult to open doors and windows because of the pressure. They are cheap and used to be effective. That's not always the case anymore. These escape tools work best on tempered glass, the safety glass used in vehicles for years. When broken, it shatters into small chunks instead of large shards. Now more and more vehicles are designed using laminate glass that uses a thin film to hold together a window if it breaks. It was once just used for front windshields, but more and more manufacturers now use it for side windows. According to research from AAA, no escape tool they tested could break laminate glass. So how can you tell if your glass is laminate or tempered? You can always dig through your driver's manual, or you can check the window itself. It should have a sticker in the corner indicating tempered or laminate glass. AAA says manufacturers usually leave one window tempered, so make sure you know which one it is.
Welcome back to DBL. We're celebrating our favorite 90s sitcom stars, and earlier, Clarissa herself, Melissa Joan Hart, joined us to take a look back.
Mom, don't you realize that if I don't watch TV, I won't be able to keep up with the cultural level of my peers?
Clarissa, you know there is nothing on TV but an endless stream of the same sitcoms, game shows, and commercials.
That's what I mean. Where else can I experience the vast wasteland that we call the 20th century? Where else can I get chewing gum for my eyes? And what about Johnny Depp?
Oh my gosh, I never missed an episode. Melissa Joan Hart, welcome to DBL. Now, Clarissa Darling was hands down, in my opinion, growing up, the coolest teenager in the 90s, and also, I have to say, a very positive role model for young girls at the time. So 30 years later, who would Clarissa be today?
Oh my goodness, that's such a good question. We've been asking that for a little while now, me and the showrunner, and we kind of disagree on where she might be. You know, I'd like to think that she would have a few cool kids that would be taken over for her.
So we have to talk about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because I know we all faithfully watched it. I know me and my friends did. But other than random talk show hosts calling their friends from 20, 30 years back saying something about you, what's the craziest thing that a fan has ever done to get your attention?
Oh, well, one time somebody on the Paramount lot while we were shooting Sabrina dug through my trash and found some of my old underwear, apparently.
Ew.
I never liked to wear thongs when I was on Sabrina. Here's a little inside. I did not like to do the thong thing, but then my wardrobe people always made me wear a thong, so I'd change my underwear during the day. And I guess a pair ended up in the trash, and someone tried to sell it on eBay, so they called the guy in for an interview, I think, at Paramount, and then arrested him.
Wow.
So that was fun.
We didn't get the reboot scoop, but we got that. That's gold.
I have like my own like personal fandom question about Salem the Cat. Because Salem was mechanical, did it ever like malfunction in the middle of a scene?
No, it didn't really malfunction because it was more like remote control. It wasn't really robotic as much as it was just remote control. But the real cat sure did. The real cat would just wander off, you know, jump out of your arms, scratch it, you know, like eat the food on the table because, of course, it's a cat, it's an animal, and there's food on the table, you know.
How
so
cute.
we, whenever we were lucky enough to have the cat voice, who is Nick Bakay, who's now the showrunner of Mom and went on to do huge things, but he was one of our writers. And so when he was on set and he'd watch the live cat do something, our bloopers are all him kind of improvising whatever the cat's doing and pretending that's what Salem, you know, what Salem would say to that.
That's hilarious.
We had some fun with the cat.
Okay, so
yeah, no, the robotic cat never malfunctioned. That was my favorite co-star because it got its lines right. It, you know, was always on its mark. Like everything was very smooth when the animatronic was out.
The perfect co-star. Now, from your cameo on Sabrina to the music video, or her cameo rather, on Sabrina to the music video Drive Me Crazy, you and Britney Spears were peers in the 90s, and you even mentioned that at that time you noticed how sheltered she was. So all these years later, and we've talked a lot about this on the show, advocating on her behalf and mental health and all of that. What's it like for you to see that she's still fighting those same battles?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we spent a lot of time together back in like 99, 2000. I haven't kept in touch since. So I saw her in Vegas at her show a few years ago, but you know, we had maybe 2 minutes to catch up. And I don't really know what's going on with her personally. Not sure if the Free Britney campaign is necessary. I mean, I've seen the documentary and it was heartbreaking, but yeah, at 17 years old, I could see that she was kind of drowning in it all. You know, just a lot of people around her, a lot to do, a lot on the schedule, and not being able to be a kid, and not being able to be social, and just everything was so timed out, from her workouts to her, you know, endorsement deals to touring to music videos. It was a lot, and you know, she was trying to find ways to break free a little bit, I feel like, but she was also a very responsible, work ethic driven person. So you know, it's hard because I was able to find my fun time. Like I'd probably work 12, 14 hours a day, but then I had my weekends or I had my late nights where I would go to dance clubs, but I was able to sort of reel it in and be like, I'll go out for 1 hour, dance, and then go home and sort of let it out there. But also my people that I worked with really kept me safe. And, they were a lot of fun to be around. So I had peers on set, and we're all still really close, whether it's the crew or the cast. We're all really close. We talk constantly. We hang out constantly. My hair, makeup, wardrobe people are on their way here to visit me in a few weeks because I just moved, and so they're coming to see me. And so, we all stay really tight and really close. And I had them on set to kind of keep me sane. And I feel like she never really had that. So it breaks my heart.
Melissa, you're a household name. I mean, everyone knows Melissa Joan Hart, and yet your name doesn't come up when we talk about child actors. You should get props for coming all the way up as a child actor to, you seem like a great person to me right now. So props to you for doing that.
Thank you. That's why I had to write a book. Actually, it's not something I'm really proud of. The book. It tells some of my stories, but it's not very savvy. I didn't get really crafty with it. It's just me telling some stories because so many people were like, "How did you end up normal? Whatever normal is, right?" And how did you, basically that's saying, how did you not get so screwed up in Hollywood? How did you not end up doing drugs and, being in the tabloids and stuff like that? And I just think I'm the oldest of 8 kids, and I felt a real sense of responsibility for them, for my parents, never wanting to disappoint people. Always learning, that if I didn't do my job, someone else would. So I had to have a good work ethic and just, having a real sense of responsibility, I think.
You are the example. You are. Yep. DBL Nation, you cannot miss Melissa's newest holiday movie, Christmas in Tune, later this year on Lifetime. We cannot wait. Plus, even more during its annual It's a Wonderful Lifetime slate. Melissa Joan Hart, thank you so much for chatting with us and just being so transparent. We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
A lot of us are ready to start traveling again, but flying the friendly skies may bring more stress than excitement. Let's connect the dots. Mental health professionals have a name for this: re-entry anxiety. They say it affects both vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So what can you do about it? First things first, if you have extreme anxiety, chat with your doctor. But if you're simply worried or feeling uneasy, experts recommend exposure therapy, easing back into situations. The key is to start slowly. If you're worried about restaurants in a strange city, try going to one in your hometown that you're comfortable with. If a long plane ride is the issue, try a shorter trip first. Or if you're worried about a big hotel with a crowded lobby, book an Airbnb. Experts also recommend accepting this new normal. Just acknowledging that most people are feeling the same way can bring you some comfort. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So beware of so-called home utility scams. First, the power shutoff scam, the old classic. Scammers will pose as electric company employees, telling you they will turn the power off if you don't pay. Also, watch out for utility imposters. They pretend to be with the water or electric company so they can get into your house and steal stuff. Wow. Finally, overpayment scams. The scammers will say you've paid too much on your bill and ask you to sign a form to get the refund. When it comes to your financial assets, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more.
I got my power turned off when I lived in LA. I wish that was a scam. I wish that was a scam. That was real.
I like that one. See you tomorrow, guys.